or content. Walking back. There's only so much that it's all the
Jesus
same.
Christ.
All a part of the joke.
Goodbye, employee 427.
From the moment we fade in until the moment I say.
Hold on a minute. I see.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I see what
Stanley
we're
decided to go to
doing
the
here.
meeting
Yeah,
room.
this is a good
Perhaps he
game.
had simply missed a memo.
I see this. So now we're gonna go in the door and do it right because we shouldn't.
When Stanley came to a set of
No.
2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes. Employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, but
Okay, bye.
eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Should I? No. I'm not gonna listen to you anymore.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Whoa. That's awesome. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Penalty for jumping off the cargo. I'm dead if I jump off the cargo lift. I'm just dead. Take
Look,
me.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
So I can jump
Someone
off.
you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
I am gonna do that.
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Her?
To put
Why
your
her?
work aside. To let her back into your life.
Who's
She's
her?
been waiting.
Who's her? Why is she doing in my life? Who? Oh God.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Okay.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
I have a
Commit their
wife?
life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No. Yes. Hello, wife. You're looking
This
beautiful
is a
today.
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Where did you get the bread out of the oven? Good morning, employee 427. Press O on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Yes. J. Can I press anything but not K? Okay, I cannot.
Look at
K.
him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home.
What? It changed.
Now he's coming back to
Look,
work.
remember it.
One might even feel
I'm
sorry
looking.
for him.
I'm not.
answer down some new path. Maybe, perhaps if he played just one more time. I know the answer! How could it possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing's changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. Now, and I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. But as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. He won't listen
To me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't. Please press F to be at work in the morning. I don't want to be at work in the morning. I'm British. I do work in the afternoon, darling. I'm not. Fine.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
How
can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I died. Okay. And he was in a loop. Whoever he is, he was in a loop. And we're back. Okay. Great.
All of his
Amazing.
coworkers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
Now
to go to
this
the meeting
time-
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now this time we're gonna choose the left door and then we'll go to the
When
escape
Stanley
path.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes. I did that. I did what you asked me to
Yet
do.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're going down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
No.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For
Yes.
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Holy
Why
shit.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all
AB
too strange.
1112.
This can't
Okay,
be real.
let's
And
remember
at
that.
last,
AB
he came to the
1112.
conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Okay, so AB
What a
1112.
relief Stanley felt. To have
I
finally
don't see the
found an
car
answer,
anymore.
An explanation.
Okay, AB 1112.
His co-workers
Ah.
weren't actually gone. He
Not
wasn't going to
changed,
lose his
yeah.
job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Ah.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not
Yeah.
woken up.
This is
How was he
amazing.
remaining so lucid?
I'm not floating.
And
though.
then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's
Where
ever
am I
been in his life.
going?
Now, hearing the
So I'm
voice
lucid
speak
dreaming.
these words
That's-
was quite a shock to
I
Stanley.
understood that.
After all,
I'm
he
lucid
knew for
dreaming.
certain, beyond a doubt,
And
that
I'm
this
going
was in
in a
fact a
loop.
dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Wake up.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one.
Good.
Wake up, he thought to himself.
Wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Yes.
Let me go back to my job.
Yes.
Let me continue pushing the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Please. It's all I want.
I-
I want my
Yes.
apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming.
Ah.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Boom. And I'm back in my office, and then I'll get the right door. And we'll go in the front.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the side.
Hey, that's me.
Though she would soon turn
Past
to go
me.
call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I know what is real and what isn't.
You will definitely
It
be.
was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Yes.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
Mhm.
The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at
The body. And then she turned and ran.